Hey everyone, I'm Lily Rubio. Welcome to another episode of Marriage Monday. Today's the day where I answer your relationship questions, so make sure and leave your questions in the comments below, and you never know, it could be one of my next videos. Before I get into our topic today, I wanted to let you know that our date video that we did for the Baby League is live over there. So I'll leave a link to that video in the description box below. Make sure and go check that out. Give it a thumbs up and go show that video some love. Subscribe to Baby League. They got a lot of awesome videos. And go show our videos some love. Okay, so today's question comes from QT Ada. It says, love the series and your advice. You're so wise. Thank you. I have a question for Marriage Monday. My partner is very social and therefore has many friends of both genders. He respects me and loves me, but I tend to get jealous that he has friends of the opposite sex. He hasn't done anything to make me jealous. It's just my fear that he might like communicating with them more, although we have really good communication. We have even talked about this, and he says he loves me and those friends are like sisters to him. They're older than him. I think this is just an internal thing, and I need to trust him and our love. I'm not used to having friends of the opposite sex or a partner who does, but I should care for the ones he loves. His girlfriends are so nice and they invite us to eat. Any advice on how to get used to this? So I chose this question because it's actually something that I feel pretty strongly about. I personally believe that husbands and wives should not have friends of the opposite sex, and here's why. It's not a matter of trust, and it's not a matter of them being older, and that's another thing. Like, how much older? Are we talking like moms and grandmas, or just like 5-10 years older than them? Because that to me is not even like, it doesn't matter. What matters is that it bothers you. And so I feel that when it comes to friends of the opposite sex, you have to set rules and boundaries that work for both of you. So I'm not talking about not having contact. Obviously, our husbands or spouses, they go out and work in the world, and they're gonna have contact and conversations and relationships with people from the opposite sex. But you mentioned friendships. Friendships, anything that requires them talking by phone, text messaging, going out to lunch, things like that are 100%, I feel, should not, are off limits. Those are not the kind of friendships you want them to have. Now, communication and contact is different, and obviously you're not going to be like, oh, you were talking. People can talk. I'm talking about friendships here. Anyone that says, oh, but they're like a sister to me, like, people use that term a lot. I'm not attracted to them. But there's a saying in Spanish that says, el diablo empuja, which means the devil pushes. And man and woman were created to be attracted to each other. And, especially people like to say, well, I've known them forever. Well, hey, that's even more reason to be even more comfortable than them. And you never know, you could be a point in your relationship where things aren't going the best, where you're just like going through a rocky patch, and those friendships could turn into something because they were at the wrong place at the wrong time. We all know that things do happen. And it's kind of like just avoiding temptation, like if you're on a diet, why are you going to go to a bakery? It just makes no sense. Stay away from that bakery, and your chances of being stronger and sticking to your diet are a lot higher. Okay, it's not to say that it won't happen, even though they don't have friendships, like that things can't happen, but it's just about keeping kind of that the risks really low, and having friendships, not having friendships of the opposite sex is definitely one way to ensure that. And also, I feel like it's not so much about having a friendship from the opposite sex, but it's about how it makes you feel. If you don't like the way that it feels when he's talking or texting or laughing with people from the opposite sex, then that's the bigger issue. You don't like how it makes you feel. Are you being jealous? No. Now, like I said, is it something that he just like spoke to someone in the gas station, gave his opinion, and then you freak out? Yes, that would be something jealous. But if it's a constant thing where he considers these people his friends, you mentioned that they want to invite you out and try to be friends with you. I don't know. I mean, for me personally, I just like, come on, there's a million other people. Get some male friends. Find some couples we can go out with. I don't it's not for me. It's personally not for me, and I wouldn't like it. So I think it's important that you set boundaries and rules. What do you like? If you don't mind that he, only texts them, but you don't want, like, you just say what's comfortable for you. What is okay for you, and you set. Me and my husband personally, he can't go to lunch alone with anyone. I would not want him text messaging and having any kind of friendship like that he's like constantly or regularly talking to someone from the opposite sex. I would not want that. So we definitely have those rules. Now, have there been occasions where maybe my husband gets invited to a dinner and it's a female rep or something, and there's other people there? I mean, there's times where obviously there's like exceptions, or you understand and you're not going to be so, we have our rule, but you'll know those times, you'll know those differences. But for the most part, you have to set those rules and boundaries. If not, your husband will go out to lunch one day and he'll be like, what's the big deal? That's my coworker. Well, set those rules and boundaries. Like I said, it's not about trust, it's about how it makes you feel. Okay, so a lot of people like to throw that out. Well, if you trusted me, you would XYZ. It's not about trust. I don't feel comfortable, and that's all that matters. So how are we going to work on this? Because I don't feel comfortable with this. So what are we going to do about it? And kind of setting something. And then if the person loves you, they will do it. If they really know that something bothers you, they will do what it takes to not make you feel that way. So I feel that relationships are hard enough. It's hard enough for us to communicate. We don't need someone else hogging up that communication time with our spouse and loved ones. So again, it's not about jealousy. It's about the way that it makes you feel. Now, don't go and blow up. You already have kind of like accepted this behavior. So I think that it's important to kind of set, like, from this point on, this is what I would like. Don't go crazy on him. I knew you, I shouldn't have let you, or whatever, just because I'm saying it now. But set rules and boundaries from this point on, and kind of tries to phase out those friendships that he has. Thank you, Bug. Those friendships that he has, because I personally would not feel comfortable. So, all right, guys, I want to hear from you. What do you think about friends from the opposite sex? Do you think that it's okay? Do you think that it's a jealousy thing, that you need to just be more secure in your relationship? What are your opinions? Do you agree with me? Not agree? I'd love to hear from you. Leave it in the comments below, and don't forget to leave your relationship questions too. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me today. Not Fat, Not Skinny. I share tons of healthy meal ideas, workouts, tips, tricks, everything to help you live a happier, healthy, and fulfilling life. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.